For me, there's a simple rule in politics. Never, ever be surprised by what happens in politics.
The face of truth is open. The eyes of truth are bright. The lips of truth are ever closed. The head of truth is upright. The breast of truth stands forward. The gaze of truth is straight. Truth has neither fear nor doubt. Truth has patience to wait. The words of truth are touching. The voice of truth is deep. The law of truth is simple. All you sow, you reap. The soul of truth is flaming. The heart of truth is warm. The mind of truth is clear and firm through rain and storm. Facts are only its shadow. Truth stands above all sin. Great be the battle of life. Truth in the end shall win. The image of truth is the cross. Wisdom's message is its rod. The sign of truth is Christ, and the soul of truth is God. Life of truth is eternal. Immortal is its past. Power of truth shall endure. Truth shall hold to the last.
I don't have to tell you things are bad. Everybody knows things are bad. It's a depression. Everybody's out of work or scared of losing their job. The dollar buys a nickel's worth. Banks are going bust. Shopkeepers keep a gun under the counter. Punks are running wild in the street, and there's nobody anywhere who seems to know what to do, and there's no end to it. We know the air is unfit to breathe, and our food is unfit to eat. We sit watching our TVs while some local newscaster tells us that today we had 15 homicides and 63 violent crimes, as if that's the way it's supposed to be. We know things are bad, worse than bad. They're crazy. It's like everything everywhere is going crazy, so we don't go out anymore. We sit in the house, and slowly the world we're living in is getting smaller, and all we say is, please, at least leave us alone in our living room. Let me have my toaster and my TV and my steel-belted radios, and I won't say anything. Just leave us alone. Well, I'm not going to leave you alone. I want you to get mad. I don't want you to protest. I don't want you to riot. I don't want you to write to your congressman because I wouldn't know what to tell you to write. I don't know what to do about the depression and the inflation and the Russians and the crime in the street. All I know is that first, you've got to get mad. You've got to say, I'm a human being. God damn it. My life has value.
There is chaos around the world, and you want to know why? It's because Facebook has been down for close to an hour now. Information is Meta's Facebook and Instagram appeared to be experiencing widespread technical problems Tuesday, with thousands of users logging errors in accessing the social media services. So we are on YouTube. So thank you so much for joining us via YouTube, as well as on Power 97.9 FM. Kiman will be going through some of the comments via our NewsSpin YouTube channel, and I'll be taking your calls at 452-2979. That's 452-2979. Your WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026, and that is 716-2026. Crime continues to be a subject that is occupying our attention in St. Lucia and indeed other parts of the Caribbean. You'll be hearing from the former St. Lucia Prime Minister, Mr. Alan Chasney. He addressed a special town hall meeting over in Trinidad last evening, and that town hall meeting was organized as the fourth in a series of such events organized by the opposition United National Congress. In the case of St. Lucia, what we are also analyzing, the appointment of Mr. Jeremiah Norbert, the Miku North MP, to the post of Minister with responsibility for crime prevention and also Minister with responsibility for persons with disabilities. We'll be focusing on that appointment. It was made yesterday, and we'll be hearing a whole lot more on our broadcast this afternoon on a range of issues, including developments involving the Grenada 3. Crime and young people being targeted by gangs. The Prime Minister, or former Prime Minister of St. Lucia, Alan Chasney, addressed that issue and might appear to be controversial, the statement that he made. But we have to be very upfront. We have to be as honest as possible when we are addressing such issues, because we are doing ourselves a disservice if we try to be diplomatic and if we are just trying to say the right things, as opposed to dealing with it from a realistic standpoint. You'll hear from the former Prime Minister and leader of the UWP in just a moment. But in a nutshell, he says, what we are offering the young people, let's say of St. Lucia, they are just not attractive compared to what the gang leaders are offering to them. They are being lured by opportunities to have illegal guns, ammunition in their possession. They feel empowered. They are part of a unit, and the impression is being given that it is a unit that is cohesive, where they care about each other, etc. We had access to money, women, let's be realistic, women, etc., and a good time. Of course, there's a danger in all that. What is the state offering? Well, you must have experience to get a particular job, and you have some individuals, senior citizens, I call them, going through a revolving door of job opportunities. They retire from the public service, and they're given an opportunity to serve as a consultant, while the young people are being told you do not have sufficient experience. They need the money up front. If they want to access a loan, they need a deposit. If they want to build their homes or purchase land, but they don't need any deposit up front to purchase a vehicle. So the odds are stacked against young people. So this is an issue that the former Prime Minister addressed last evening during that town hall meeting. So we'll hear from the former St. Lucia Prime Minister, Alan Chasney, on that important issue. Very controversial statement.
I want us tonight to accept the truth. This is very difficult for us as political leaders. I accept my share of the blame. We all must accept our share of the blame. The gang are offering our young people a better future than we in our own country are offering. That is a truth. I have young people who come and say to me, Mr. Chasney, I see how my father has lived in their life. I watch how my grandfather lived his life. I don't want that. I would rather die young and enjoy my life than to live old and be miserable. That's not to take away anything from his father or his grandfather, but we must accept the young people today want more, and they want it now. We cannot tell them no. You remember when you were young? Could somebody tell you no? You thought you had all the ideas and you were ambitious. We must adapt to the reality is that our countries are not fulfilling their promise of keeping young people engaged. We must offer them opportunities that they want.
Former St. Lucia Prime Minister Alan Chasney addressing a town hall meeting over in Trinidad organized by the opposition UNC. He says the gangs are offering our youth a better future. We open the lines right now at 452-2979. That's 452-2979. WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026, and that is 716-2026. Hello to you, Kimani. Good afternoon. What is happening in the chat room this time on YouTube exclusively?
Hi, good afternoon, Tim. In the chat room on YouTube, We just have some greetings going on. Someone said, "Good afternoon, Tim Kim and follow NewsSpinners. Happy to be in touch via YouTube. Enjoying the show from Dubai. Best wishes." But that's it. Just salutations.
Okay. All right. Let me see if I have some of your WhatsApp messages while we are awaiting your calls. We've had lots of WhatsApp messages over the last few days. Unfortunately, we have not been able to go through them. So maybe I could take the opportunity right now to go through some of those contributions. But we have a call. Let's go to that call instead via WhatsApp. Hello and good afternoon to you. This is NewsSpin. You're on the air.
Yes, Tim. Good day. How are you doing?
I'm okay, Mr. Aaron Alexander. What's on your mind today?
One thing you're quick to identify,
the important people. I like to identify important people. People with status. Prominent people in our country.
Well, Tim, my take on this whole situation of the statement made by Alan Shastney.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, the gangs may be offering the children and the youth a brighter future or whatever it is. But Tim, at what cost? At what cost is what Mr. Shastney need to tell the youth? At what cost that quick life, that nice life, that life of just getting quick things fast and getting things now? Because the youth have a lot of misguided and misplaced realities within them, things that they know that, these are things that you have to work hard for. There are things that you have to strive for, because there is no success if a man have to strive to grow, Tim. So Mr. Shastney need to tell the youth at what cost the nice life that the gang life might be offering them, at what cost it is coming at. And that is the crux of the matter, Tim. Thank you. Have a good day.
You too, sir. Thank you so much for calling. 452-2979, WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026. Give me your thoughts as a youth. Your thoughts on the statement made by the former Prime Minister.
I mean, there's some truth to what he said. Mm-hmm. Why do you think they gravitate towards gangs? Why do you think they prefer to go the illegal route as opposed to the legal route?
That is the reality. Give the young people an alternative.
A better alternative.
Yeah, give them an alternative. Okay, we have a call on, let me see there. Try to get a call. Good afternoon to you. This is NewsSpin. You on the air? Hello? Okay, we lost the call. 452-2979, WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026. Let's see if we get another call online as we say hello. Good afternoon. Hello.
Good afternoon, Tim. How are you?
I'm okay, sir. Good afternoon to you, caller.
Tim, I refuse to allow the misleading of words, because if somebody listened to what you just played there, and I'm a little bit disappointed that you didn't tell Mr. Alexander that's not what the man said. The man explained that, and he told him, and maybe he wasn't listening.
No,
he said a young man came to him.
That's Mr. Alexander's point of view. Allowed this one,
Tim,
to
let
pass.
me tell you, man. You have audience like me that listening every day, and I like to see that all the information that is passed on, because that's what we need to make sure that when it goes, everybody understand what. Because a few people may take what Alexander said and run with it, when that's not what the man said. The man specifically said, the young man that spoke to him said, you'd rather enjoy a short life. That means you'd die early than to live that life that they offering them. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
The man is acknowledging that all the governments around the region are not offering enough opportunities to the young kids. And I think Mr. Alexander needs to go back and listen to that clip so you understand what the man is saying.
Okay.
The man actually said that he took some of the blame because he was a prime minister as well.
Yeah.
We have to be fair and understand what is happening. If you play more of that clip,
the point is, caller, the point is, Mr. Alexander should have acknowledged that what Mr. Shastney said was true, was correct. Let's not be hypocritical about it. Yeah.
Let's not be hypocritical about the fact. We all know what is happening. And the man even went on to say in that very same clip, he went as far as saying that he spoke with the lead. They had meetings while he was prime minister, and he said they have leaders that are still prime minister today that can testify and implement that $1 that he was proposing on every traveler on the airport, so it could go towards that regional security. You see, we have to understand when somebody is trying to make a strive, no one is perfect. The man has made mistake, but if the man is trying to help the citizenry, I don't see why we still have to go down that lane and trying to disintegrate the man based on what we think the man have done before. What he's doing, he's trying to help. And even me, if I was Philippe J. Pierre, which I will never be, thank God I am not, but I would sit down with whoever that have the idea, Tim, to solve the problem that is in St. Lucia concerning crime, because it is dire. You know, you see all these young men falling on the streets. What are we becoming? You know, we don't have any sympathy when it comes to people that die, or we just say it on online, because you see it all the time. I sympathize with this family. You know, condolences to this family. We're just saying that because we want to see people, so people can see that we're sympathizing with other families. But what are we doing? You know, we shouldn't even have an argument about that. Now, Tim, I want to say something quickly before I go. You see the thing with Miss Alfred? I am so upset with what happened yesterday around the St. Lucia, with all that nonsense that is going on. Tim, we're supposed to be enjoying this moment. We're supposed to be, you know, celebrating the young lady. Whereas people are trying to make it look like, oh, this politician did that, did that. Who the hell cares about who did what? You know? She has potential, and she's actually proving that she's one of the best athletes out there. And that's the main point, and that's what we should run with. We should be boasting about that, yet still we're still in the politics about it. Thank you very much, Tim. Have a good day.
You too as well. Thank you so much for your contribution. What's happening on the YouTube channel, Kimani?
Someone says, that is correct, caller LOL. Another comment, St. Lucians hate the truth. Someone says, that's what he is saying. The system is offering nothing to them, so they're seeing gangs are the best way. And another one, Tim, you have to correct your callers.
Somebody says that Shastney is so right, because before I became self-employed, a bank was promoting a land loan with zero down payment. When I approached them, they told me I needed to be permanent at my workplace at the time. It's lose-lose situation with the bank as a young person, and only the wealthy will benefit from the bank. Another WhatsApp message. Somebody says, good day, Tim. I did not hear Mr. Shastney, but things must be taken in context. The statement is not standalone. Many young people do not want to work. They prefer to sit on the block all day and live the life of crime for easy money. We need to look for ways to fight crime as a nation. In the chat room?
Someone says, yes, Tim, you like to call people name to face. So the same way you're calling out people who call people liars, call out your listeners when the other callers, when they make incorrect statements, Tim.
You see, it's not an incorrect statement that he made. He made an observation. He analyzed the statement that was made by Mr. Alan Shastney. That's what he did. I don't think he misinterpreted what Mr. Shastney said. He said, yes, you're saying this, but you should have also looked at the coin from the other side. So people can disagree with your analysis. Okay, that was his position that he made clear with regard to the statement made by the former St. Lucia Prime Minister. We have a call. This is NewsSpin. Good afternoon. You're on the air.
Good afternoon, Tim.
Yes, ma'am. Good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon, Kimani.
Hi, good afternoon.
Tim, your NewsSpin is probably getting a headache with Facebook, yeah?
Yes, but we are on YouTube. So they should make the adjustments. Yeah.
That's right. Timothy, I would like to find out what is wrong with Aaron Alexander. Aaron has that form of hatred in him towards Mr. Shastney. I remember he came on a talk show and he said that he asked Mr. Shastney a loan of $1 million to buy a boat, and he didn't get it. Aaron Alexander needs to behave himself.
No, Cole, I'm not privy to what you're saying there. I've never heard this before. But
No,
continue.
I'm just telling you, he said it on a talk show. He said it. And that gentleman has a level of hatred. You see the hatred that the Labour Party spread around St. Lucia when they were campaigning towards Mr. Chasney? If the people of St. Lucia do not take that out of their hearts, our country will die. And it will die a sad death. The hatred, you can feel it in them, Timothy. They need to get rid of that and save the country. Because what Mr. Chasney said the last night, and he have been saying, this man is on point. And we can all see it. St. Lucians fear the truth. They are afraid of the truth. If we just listen to Mr. Chasney and put what he's telling us to work, this place would be a much better place today, Timothy, from the time this man have been campaigning for the 2021 elections, the policies that he have been going after. Just like he said about the parenting. Timothy, remember when the gentleman came out and he said about the single parents, the children that have been involved in that kind of crime thing that is happening. Go and find out. Go to their homes. Go to their parents, the mothers, because we know they are single. Most of them are single parents. If the media, again, Timothy, the media is failing our country, do their work. Go out, interview these parents. The children doesn't have fathers, no love, no nothing coming out from their homes. And when Mr. Chasney said that is the same Labour Party operatives again that came down and they beat him and they beat him and they dragged him for the sake of politics. Whereas when the gentleman said that if we were concerned people, the entities, the NGOs, whoever they are, had just sit down on a table with the idea or ideas of Mr. Chasney for this country, we would have been in a better place now. But they are not doing that. It's all yellow and red, and to hell with St. Lucia. It's all political hacks, and to hell with St. Lucia. That is why today we don't have health care. Our crime, we are lost now when it comes to crime. No health care, no infrastructure. We have a country that is decay, dead. Nothing is coming out of it. Nothing is coming out of it, Tim. And I will continue speaking the truth to these people. And if they want to see me as a political hack, I am not one. I want to see better for our country. And Mr. Chasney have all the ideas. And I will blame Stephenson King for doing the nonsense he did there. Turning his back on the future of our country and our young people in this country. That is sad. For what? A salary? For a salary, Timothy, we cannot fix our country. A little country like that, we cannot fix it. And God bless us with a man with the ideas. Timothy, whenever you have a leader that is going places, politicians are afraid to go for a vote. St. Lucians, cling onto that person and give them your vote because they care. They care. We never had a politician team to speak of the household, the families, the sorrows that we are going through. We never had a politician. Maybe I cannot remember for Sir John if I ever heard you give a speech like that in my life. But if you get leaders like that, St. Lucians, grapple onto them, take them, just like the former health minister, Mary Isaac. When she spoke about the alcohol consumption in the country, Tim, when you walk on Jeremy Street and by Dax and these places that Timothy, the $1 rum, our people, our young men, the ladies, their lips are all swollen, they are lost. that is killing the country. And those are the topics we want to see the government take into their hands and try to fix it for the people. Like healthcare, they're afraid of it. They're schooling the people with a building breaking. No, that's not how you run a country, Tim. And I will continue telling them that I am not playing politics. I want to see better for the people of the country. And we know Labour Party cannot do it. They cannot do it. In 2024, Labour Party, I don't know. With Philippia, it's just no, it's not happening. It will not work. If it couldn't work with Kenny Anthony, they saw as their best. It's not Philippia that will bring the country anywhere. And the people in the country are suffering. You can see the people are stressed out on the ground. They are stressed out. They're probably not talking, Timothy, but you can see the stress. The problems of the people, it is there, and Philip Pierre is not ready. He was never ready. He was never prepared, never ready, not even as an MP he was. And today that man is a prime minister in a country, and the country is just stagnant, comatose, and yepakafed. Nothing is happening, Tim. And St. Lucians need to wake up. They need to wake up before it is too late. They need to wake up. And I'm calling on the young people. Do not let Philippia and them go into your minds and further indoctrinate you like Kenny Anthony did in 97. Wake up and fight for the future of your country. That is yours. Timothy is already on his way out.
Who told you that?
45.
Who told you that? Am I on the way out? Gonna judge me?
Tim,
No.
More years we get, we on our way out. We're not growing down, we are growing older.
Judge me on my height. I am not on my way down. So I have to thank
Tim,
you.
I love you. Leave your height where it is there. I love you. Stay
Okay,
there.
caller. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
But I'm just saying.
Yeah.
You're welcome, sweetie.
All right. Take care. I'm not on my way out. No. 452-2979. Your WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026. Still to come, we'll be hearing more from the former St. Lucia Prime Minister, Mr. Alan Chasney. We'll also be hearing from the man who is now charged with preventing crime. Crime Prevention Minister. All that and more on the most monitored talk show in the world. We are on our YouTube channel as well as Power 97.9 FM. Please stay with us.
First National Bank is dedicated to providing financial security through our creditor life insurance scheme, designed to offer peace of mind in managing your loans and debts with us. We understand the stress that financial obligations can bring, especially in unforeseen circumstances. That's why our creditor life insurance, offered at the best market rates, ensures that your First National Bank loans are covered, alleviating the worry for you and your loved ones. Our partnership with leading insurance providers means that you benefit from comprehensive coverage that is both affordable and reliable. We offer tailored solutions that fit your specific needs, ensuring that your financial legacy is protected. With First National Bank, you can be confident that your financial commitments are secure, giving you the freedom to focus on what matters most in life. First National Bank, here for you.
Lazarus's Funeral Home is here for you. Lazarus's Private Cemetery often take care of all our departed loved ones. Lazarus's Private Cemetery, let us help you create a final resting place. Make it special. Make it Lazarus's Funeral Home, your friend in a time of need. Payment plans are available for tombs. Call us in Vidbuta at 452-7491 or in New Dock Road, VA4, 454-6555.
Lucilex remote options are available to serve you every weekday from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. daily. Call or send a WhatsApp message to 285-6796, 285-7859, 285-3593 or 285-3329. Or send an email to customersupport@lucelec.com for assistance. Call 457-4433 to get bill balances. Use myaccount.lucelec.com for detailed account information and to make online bill payments using a credit or debit card or online bank account. Customers may also take advantage of SurePay's online or walk-in service. NewsSelect encourages you to use the available options for doing business with us remotely.
Embrace the magic of the night with someone special by your side. KFC Chicken Nights, a love story waiting to unfold. Sundays to Thursdays, 6 p.m. to closing, just for $35. Share 4 pieces of delectable KFC chicken, 3 tender strips, and 2 regular fries. This enchanting deal is yours to savor at all KFC locations, because love knows no boundaries. Having chicken tonight? Make it finger-licking good with KFC's Chicken Nights, where love and flavor come together for a night to remember.
In these modern times, the field of medicine has become so advanced that no one has to suffer any longer before they can be seen by a specialist doctor. La Clinique de Corps is proud to be the only healthcare provider in specialist doctors who are capable to first correctly diagnose and then successfully treat health conditions such as chronic back pain, spinal injury, sciatica, numbness, lupus, arthritis. Also available at La Clinique de Corps, complete nerve tests to detect nerve injury or muscle disease. All health insurances are accepted at La Clinique de Corps. So walk again pain-free with La Clinique de Corps. To book an appointment, please call 451-6559 or WhatsApp 721-9950.
Catch the new vibe and the lingo. More upon more so the tingo. Is more wet flow if you didn't know. All these deals is a winner. More upon more wet flow. More data, more talk for sure. More WhatsApp, video, cast stop, unlimited talk, so you not stop chat.
Flow prepaid combo plans just got better. Loaded with even more data and unlimited talk. Take advantage of WhatsApp and all its features with our new prepaid plans. Unleash your creativity with more social media. Dial *129 $ to activate.
Now that's the new vibe in the lingo. Yes. More upon more, see how the tingo. It's more wet flow, now you really know. Catch it now. All these deals make you save more. Get more.
Night Meds is your dependable neighborhood pharmacy. You'll notice that upon entry, you are greeted by caring professional staff, attentive to your every need. Your prescriptions are always treated with a high degree of confidentiality, and we pride ourselves on providing speedy, efficient service. We carry a wide array 840 or WhatsApp 461-6840 for more information. Night Meds Pharmacy. We are your community med store.
Automotive art is a place to start. Automotive art is a place to start.
Yeah, look, check. We got a wide range of products that are automotive and do-it-yourself supplies if you got a moment. Smart staff that'll always know it. Got rims and tires from trucks to high performance to off-roading. Start hair tools, batteries, oil, and car care.
Automotive art is a place to start.
Ground control, come in. It's the space station. We have an unidentified object for review. Over.
Go ahead, space station.
It seems to be.
Go ahead.
It's,
Go ahead, space station.
Okay, I've made my decision. It's a cricket ball.
What?
6. What a shot. You bigot. Out of the park and into the sky.
The ICC Men's T20 World Cup.
It's out of this world.
Buy your tickets now from tickets.t20worldcup.com.
I brought tonight a copy of the Constitution of St. Lucia. You have your own constitution. Some of us have not taken the time to really appreciate what a constitution is. A constitution is a contract between the citizens of a country to empower an entity called the government of Trinidad and Tobago or the government of St. Lucia to make decisions in the best interest of all of us. That we give that authority to government superpowers to make decisions for us. But one of the things that the Constitution does is to enshrine liberties and rights to all of us, and to make sure that that government does not use its power against anyone in our country. It cannot use that power to oppress and suppress the rights of individual citizens in our country. You don't have to go far in our Constitution. Chapter 1, it says, whereas every person in St. Lucia is entitled to the fundamental rights and freedoms, that is to say, the right, whatever his race, place of origin, political opinion, color, creed, or sex, but subject to the respect for the rights and freedoms of others and for the public interest to each and all of the following, namely, and look at the first thing: life, liberty, security of the person, equality before the law, and the protection of the law. Living in a country that is crime-free is an obligation of any government by the Constitution. It cannot be that a government is expecting that we're going to continue to support it and support their governance if they are not willing to fulfill the obligations of our rights in the Constitution. I want each one of us to appreciate what I am saying. Living in a neighborhood that is safe, being able to go out at night safely, to own assets and to know that nobody is going to break in and steal those assets, to send your child out to a nightclub at night or to go to a restaurant. It's not a privilege. It's not something that we should be grateful if a government is able to do it. The Constitution requires every government to provide that security to all of us. Crime is the enemy of our country. Think of how much money you spend on securing your own home. Think of the things that you don't do because you're fearful of crime. Think of the amount of money that government is spending on having to try to fight crime. Think of people who have been injured and they can no longer make a contribution to their family, and that they now have become a burden to their family. Think of the frontliners, the nurses and the doctors and the police officers and the ambulance who have to pick up young people or citizens of this country who have been killed. Do we really take into consideration the mental trauma that we are causing to them? A young person that we all too often hear losing as a teenager. Do we calculate what that person could have contributed to society and the loss of that genius? We don't know who the next great person is going to be. But if we lose our young people too young, we are depriving ourselves of their own genius. Who can put a cost to life? And so when we sadly listen every day to the news and hear about another murder, how many of us now just chalk it up to another number? Do we really visualize the mother that lost their child? Do we visualize the brothers and sisters that have lost that child? Do we visualize the friends that they had and the impact of that child or that teenager being lost on them? We have to admit it. We have become numb to the number. We no longer put a face to who's being killed.
Leader of the opposition, Mr. Alan Shastney, speaking last evening during the 4th anti-crime town hall meeting in Trinidad and Tobago, organized by the Opposition United National Congress. We continue with your calls, 452-2979, your WhatsApp calls and messages, 716-2026, that's 716-2026. And we are back on Facebook. I think we've been back over the last, maybe about close to 10 minutes now. We've been back on Facebook. So hi to you watching the broadcast on Facebook as well as on YouTube and listening on Power 97.9 FM. We have a call via WhatsApp. Good afternoon. You are on the air.
Hello, Tim.
Hi, good afternoon to you, Rick.
Wow.
All right.
Oh, well, let me just
kill the cat, kill the cat, Rick.
Yeah, I want to kill that cat, Tim. Give me a second to kill it. Right. Okay, I got about 3 instruments working at the same time covering you.
Okay, go ahead.
Did Mr. What's his name?
Aaron Alexander.
Aaron Augusta.
Alexander.
Yeah. In just what was his criticism of the Prime Minister's statement that the gangs offer?
What he said is that the Prime
better
Minister,
prospects.
The former Prime Minister failed to recognize the risks involved when young people decide to join gangs, when they're lured by what the gangs and the gang leaders are offering.
All right, good. I don't know why I have a lot of time. He's one of my buddies. But lately, Mr. Alexander has been saying some things that really kind of wrestled me my brain. I think he's a bright guy. I think he's a progressive guy. He has the youth to be in tune. But he's been saying some things lately that kind of threw me. Now, Mr. Alexander is old enough because the history is very important. Do you remember a case called the Timon case, Tim?
Tell me about that case.
That was a case. That was a case involving Gabu and what you might call his gang, and a gentleman called Brian Joseph.
Yes, I'm familiar.
And that was a pretty one of the most memorable lines coming out of the evidence was when one of Gabu's I have to use the word gang. One of Gabu's gang said to him to hurry up because they were chopping this guy's wrists, at Pigeon Point.
And he has the scars up to now to show, eh?
I would love to. Well, anyway, I don't want to get. I'll talk to you offline another time on that. Yeah, but I got very close. Those were my early days here. I got very close to all of those guys. I have pictures of them that nobody else has. I was given how you call it, the opportunities to speak both to Brian.
You're given access.
Access is the word to both Brian in hospital and Brian's bodyguard, as well as Gabu and Wada and the whole bunch of them, and I have the photographs to prove that. So I have some really fascinating statements. But what I want to bring your attention to is just about that time, a particular school in Castries landed on my front page, and it was also the story was covered by other newspapers of the day. Because a teacher was so discombobulated by a student. He was asking the students what they want to be when they grow up. And this particular student, I bet you if you put your mind to it, you'll remember it even before I say it, The particular student had said to the school teacher, I want to be a drug baron when I grow up. I want to be a drug baron when I grow up. But why do you think this kid would have said that, Tim?
Because he's fascinated by what he's seeing, all of the gold chains and, the money that he's seeing in the possession of
I will tell you
people.
something further. Brian Joseph actually gave me an interview based on what the kid had said, trying to talk the kid out of it. Don't be fooled by the gold and don't be fooled by that and all the things that he's talking about. What Alan Shastney said there to me was, and I'll come to that we in a minute, that we are allowing our kids to see better prospects in gangsterism and joining the gangs, etc. We as a people, well, I shouldn't go so far. We are allowing the kids to see that they have better prospects following gangs and gangsters than anywhere else. We are allowing them to do that. Would that be a reasonable whatever?
It is.
Because
yes.
even Brian Joseph saw it. So I don't understand why Mr. Aaron Alexander would have deduced what he deduced from what Alan Shastney said. That kids, and I tell you something else, Tim. I've been covering this a long time. The kids in the ghettos, although so much of Cassius has become ghetto, but in those days they were a little more sparse, a little less widespread. They're heroes. Well, the guys they saw with the flashy cars and the gold chains and the gold teeth and the boats and so on, you know. Those are the people they lived with every day. Those were their heroes, Tim.
You are correct.
They had no other heroes to look forward to. And I put it to you, even now, the kids have no heroes except those guys who are doing well out of drugs and crime, because every kid thinks he too will do as well. He doesn't think about killing or whatever. I asked one in particular, how can you guys take a pistol and confront the SSU? He said, Rick, I was doing talk at the time. He says, you got the thinking all wrong. We don't think of that. All we think of is to get what we want. They're not thinking of life and death. They're not into insurance because they don't know if they can live tomorrow. Yeah. They get up in the morning and they're never sure they're going to make it through the day. That is the thinking of those guys in the ghettos who are in trouble. And what are we offering them instead? Now I will stop there just to shift gears a little bit and go back to your show yesterday. Tim, I did a little research and it occurred to me that even Alan, and by the way, when Alan is saying we cause them trauma and we do this and we do that, and I got the feeling he's talking to the audience, but really it's not the audience doing that. The we should be the politicians himself. So I want to step on his toe for that. Be careful with that we. Who do you mean by we, Tonto? But anyway, a little research will show you, Tim, that you have never heard any administration in St. Lucia, while moaning about crime and all the guns, they're going to get more guns to the police and they're going to get them more cars and they're going to get this and they're going to get that. You have never heard a prime minister, a minister of finance, a member of government stand up and demand that millions of dollars be invested in the people via sports facilities with an intention to draw them away to sports with a future. And I say that to you, Tim, because some of the best known boxers, for one, I'm not about bodybuilders too, but it'll take too long. Names like Sonny Liston, who I had the pleasure of meeting, I dare say, Bernard Hopkins, Pernell Whitaker, one of the earliest black champions,
Mike Tyson.
Jack Johnson.
Mike Tyson.
I like that you're anticipating me. Very good. All of those guys rose out of crime to become prominent world names. Mike Tyson is today not just a legend as a boxer. Mike Tyson is going around universities and other places preaching to young people, young and not so young, to avoid the lifestyle that he started with, pointing out to them how difficult it was to get rid of those demons even after he became champion. He attributed all of his problems to how he grew up in a criminal environment, robbing people, fighting in the street. And so, but there were opportunities. They learned to fight. A lot of them learned to fight in prison. People came and saw talent in them. People went to those prisons, recruited them. And there were so many avenues for these guys to redeem themselves, people who could, in boxing. Same with the NFL. mainly blacks. And I'm concentrating on black people right now. I'm not even going to go into the whites who also get in trouble for the same reason. Sports is just about, Tim, and you heard me say that on talk many times, that if I had not left St. Lucia, I am sure I would have gotten into serious police problems. I said so because I knew my energy, my drive would get me in trouble. And I have said so many times on talk to teach people a lesson from me personally, that if I had not gotten out of here to realize the potential I felt I had, I would have rebelled, and I would have gotten into trouble. And a lot of those kids right now, young kids who are getting into trouble right now, is because they rebelled. Tim, I made my own weights out of lead. That's how desperate I was to get into bodybuilding, And bodybuilding gave me the discipline that I have to this day. I'm never alone. I'm always in something, because bodybuilding is a sport, a lonely sport. You can't, you by yourself doing your thing.
Yeah.
And there's track and field. There are other sports, swimming. Swimming apparently is getting a little boost now, but not to the extent, sports generally, Tim. We've got to start investing millions in the things that are most important.
Because Rick, we continue to say, the only resource that we have is the human resource. So if that's the only resource that you have, invest in it.
Also,
nurture it.
It's putting the
It's
putting the people first.
Mm-hmm.
If you're putting the people first, they have to be seen. They have to, and by the way, every government has said the same one way or another about putting people first. None of them do. Okay. If you are putting people first, then you have to put...
They put the people first, They put themselves first, and the cronies.
and their buddies.
And the buddies, yeah,
Their buddies.
They do.
Yeah, okay. Well, we're going to be spinning top in mud until we decide that the things that are most important to us are the things we have to most invest in. Yesterday, we touched on the fact, this lady, Alfred, there are a lot of Alfreds before her. There were people like Mindu Philip.
Mm-hmm.
There were cricket. There was people you wouldn't know, people like Alan de Turville, who was my first inspiration for bodybuilding. And a number of those people when I was a kid, and because of them, I would read magazines, and I wanted to be a bodybuilder. I wanted to get out of St. Lucia. I wanted to be a bodybuilder. That's all I wanted to do in life. And Tim, I want to tell you, every single thing I am today, my discipline, the way I focus, the way I can be by myself and not be lonely, all of that was given me by bodybuilding. Even the opportunity to get in writing for bodybuilding, first of all, and to branch out, all of that came from bodybuilding. For me, sport. But no government has put nearly enough attention. You know what is sickening? There's the guy in Dennery. What's his name? Estefan?
Mm-hmm. Estefan, yes. He was an athlete.
I was going through some old issues of the Star, and I couldn't believe I was looking at Estefan, who was a track star in St. Lucia.
Yeah.
With a great physique and whatever, and look at him now, fallen, and he's associated with all kinds of crap that have nothing to do with health. I don't want to go into the details of that. You look at the guys in the house, how many people you see there would even indicate to you that they have an interest in sport? How many of them you had them talking, except in terms of we putting lights on at some, and even with the putting lights on the field, and it's in a kind of pish pash, no motivation. It's more a thing like keep the people off the streets. But sport builds discipline. But you must have coaches. You must have people scouting. You must give people opportunities. You must invest in the people if you really want the people to change. And sport is about the finest deterrent to crime. Sport generally. I know Reds Pereira, guys like Reds Pereira, Finisterre, Kabadidi, those guys have tried within their means. But that's only scratching the surface thing. If we want our kids to want to have aspirations away from criminality, then we've got to give them those prospects, make those prospects real. So Alan Chasney is 100% correct. But he's not correct when he said, yes, we, meaning the rest of us. He and his comrades in politics, they are the ones, unfortunately, who have brought us to where we are. I didn't start today. We've been going that way for a very, very long time. And Alan Chasney and others like him must begin to say, we, meaning them, we have let you down. What is interesting in Alan Chasney is what he's saying now suggests he has learned some lessons. But I can't forget when he did say that young girls were having children, same thing, that they couldn't afford one, but they were having others and they became burden on the state and all that kind of stuff. Again, he was blasted. Lanchigo said it before him, but he was blasted for saying that. And if we don't want to face these unpleasant facts, and if we get bored by when people come with those kind of stories, because we know, most of the people listening to me right now have never experienced sport, Tim, don't have any real appreciation. We are not a sport-loving country, and that itself may be blamable on our governments. You realize we are not. Never mind Mindo Philip and Darren Sammy. Hello?
You, Derek.
Would you agree with me that we are not a sport-loving community?
We're not. We jump on the bandwagon every time a St. Lucian excels, whether he becomes the first St. Lucian to join the West Indies cricket team, or in the case of Julian Alfred, we join on and we celebrate, etc.
For a little while.
But for a little while.
I mean, when you look at Alfred, that woman stands out from any other athlete that immediately come to mind in recent times, I've been talking about her physique, the quality of the muscles in that girl, the look on her face. And to think that she could have stayed here, Tim. She could have stayed here and died like the rest who have died. So I hope Alan Chasney right now will be running campaigns trying to persuade people from now how important sport is to the way we live, the quality of life in the country, whether we're going to go the same old way and allow young people to have as their heroes the biggest gangsters in town. I mean, imagine in the house we had referring to the same people. One was calling them dons and the other one calling them businessmen. You see, you read that? So those are the things we're supposed to read and come to conclusions on. Thank you very much, Tim.
You're welcome, sir. Kimani, what is happening in the chat room? And we are back on Facebook, so we'll be going through some of the comments there, as well as on the NewsSpin YouTube channel.
In the chat room, someone says, I think we need a Rick Wayne exhibition featuring all those pics, his works over the decades, accompanied by a talk/interview. And Tim, you were recommended to be the interviewer for that.
Someone says, hey, Tim, tell Rick music does the same. And this is coming from a well-known St. Lucian musician.
Another comment, I don't agree with you, Rick. It starts at home and the community. Another comment, how many of them look like they are interested in exercising? Only one. Someone says, sports is an expensive venture. Who is playing? Someone says, it is also a form of discipline with sports. Another question, let's see. The question we have to answer individually, wait, I can't understand this contribution. Another comment in the chat, someone says, Tim, you remember the outrage and dissatisfaction by the people who voted for Jeremiah Norbert after the swearing ceremony of ministers after the last general election. Well, the PM knows what he was getting into coming next general election, so he had to cover that part of his butt cheek. Tim, it appears some politicians adopted a ghetto-style approach to manage and secure votes for political power, while criminals appear to be so emboldened. St. Lucians need to give this man another chance, referring to former Prime Minister Alan Chasney. And someone is jesting, Tim, give Lucy like to be in charge of the NewsSpin Facebook page and not Wasco. Another comment in the... Well, that's it in the chat, Tim.
Thank you so much. Our NewsSpin question of the day. Why is Jeremiah expected to prevent what PJP could not prevent. Our NewsSpin question of the day: why is Jeremiah expected to prevent what PJP could not prevent? Of course, he is the minister with responsibility for crime prevention, and you'll be hearing from him in just a moment. For example, he was asked the question, what is he bringing to the table? To monitor NewsSpin on Power 97.9 FM. We are also on Facebook as well as the YouTube channel.
There is only one option when they arrive. Our services will make the dead look alive. With Poleon, Beaufort, accessibility. Remember, we have the only private cemetery. No one can match our prices from coffins to corsage. Personalized service you get when Lazarus take charge. Quality service, no package to make your wallet bleed. Lazarus is your true friend in your time of need.
Do you own a micro, small, or medium enterprise and want to improve on your business productivity?
Well, here's the opportunity for you. The National Competitiveness and Productivity Council, NCPC, has organized a fantastic training program targeting MSMEs to enhance their business productivity. And it's free.
The training program will assist you to identify productivity gaps in your business operations.
Establish a continuous improvement culture within your business while ensuring that you fully understand the requirements for enhancing your business productivity.
Training is open to senior and middle managers within your business, the decision makers, and change agents.
If you own a business of any size, this opportunity is for you. Contact the NCPC at 468-1587 today for this special offer. Deadline is March 31st, 2024.
Work smarter, enhance your business productivity, maximize your profits.
For more information, visit StNCPC.org or St. NCPC on Facebook and YouTube.
Measure your productivity with Pro Tool. Brought to you by the NCPC and the Caribbean Digital Transformation Project.
Your home is a haven of comfort and memories, and at First National Bank, we understand the emotional and financial investment it represents. That's why our home insurance policies offered to our mortgage loan customers through our trusted partners are designed to be both comprehensive and financially considerate. These policies cover a myriad of events, from natural disasters to burglary and theft, offering you the best protection without the stress of high costs. We are committed to providing a sense of security that extends beyond the physical aspects of your home. Our goal is to ensure that every customer has the peace of mind that comes with knowing that their home is well protected without the pressure of overwhelming insurance costs. With First National Bank, safeguarding your home is not just affordable, it's a reflection of our commitment to your well-being and financial peace of mind. First National Bank, here for you.
Catch the new vibe and the lingo. More upon more so the tingo. Is more with flow if you didn't know. All these deals is a winner. More upon more with flow. More data, more talk for sure. More WhatsApp, video caster, unlimited talk, so you not stop chat.
Flow prepaid combo plans just got better. Loaded with even more data and unlimited talk. Take advantage of WhatsApp and all its features with our new prepaid plans. Unleash your creativity with more social media. Dial *129 $ to activate.
Now that's the new vibe in the lingo. Yes. More upon more, see how the tingo. It's more with flow, now you really know. Catch it now. All these deals make you save more. Get more.
In these modern times, the field of medicine has become so advanced that no one has to suffer any longer before they can be seen by a specialist doctor. La Clinique de Corps is proud to be the only healthcare provider in St. Lucia to offer the best and most experienced specialist doctors who are capable to first correctly diagnose and then successfully treat health conditions such as chronic back pain, spinal injury, sciatica, numbness, lupus, arthritis, joint pain, facial nerve pain, knee, heel, and shoulder pain, cramps, and carpal tunnel syndrome. Also available at La Clinique de Corps, complete nerve tests to detect nerve injury or muscle disease. All health insurances are accepted at La Clinique de Corps. So walk again pain-free with La Clinique de Corps. To book an appointment, please call 451-6559 or WhatsApp 721-9950.
Automotive art is a place to start. Automotive art is a place to start.
Yeah, look, check. We got a wide range of products that are automotive and do-it-yourself supplies if you got a moment. Smart staff that'll always know it. Got rims and tires from trucks to high performance to off-roading. Start hair tools, batteries, oil, and car care.
Automotive art is a place to start.
Embrace the magic of the night with someone special by your side. KFC Chicken Nights, a love story waiting to unfold. Sundays to Thursdays, 6 p.m. to closing, just for $35. Share 4 pieces of delectable KFC chicken, 3 tender strips, and 2 regular fries. This enchanting deal is yours to savor at all KFC locations because love knows no boundaries. Having chicken tonight? Make it finger-licking good with KFC's Chicken Nights, where love and flavor come together for a night to remember.
On Easter Sunday, the biggest brunch party in the West returns. Rise 4, the celebration. Easter Sunday, March 31st, Soufre Mini Stadium. Featuring international sensation Tennyson John and the DJ Project live. Also, MTX, A1 Jugglers, Sir Lancelot, Hype Kid, DJ JH and Dollo, Levi Chin, DJ Irv, Power FM DJs, MC Donnerville. Easter Sunday from 12 noon, we rise.
Look at people in here tonight. That's what they do.
Regular tickets are $80 and $350 for VIP terrace area. Get your tickets online at www.fourcirclestickets.com. Mambo's Bar and Courts in Soufre and Courts Ready Cash island-wide. Get VIP and group tickets with no cash at Courts Ready Cash. Dress code Slay in Orange. Rise 4, the celebration, an Optimum event production. Platinum sponsors, Courts Ready Cash and Power 97.9 FM. Gold sponsor, Bank of St. Lucia. Other sponsors, Digicel, Piton Beer, Strongbow, and Island Sound.
Blinking market.
I want us tonight to accept the truth. This is very difficult for us as political leaders. I accept my share of the blame. We all must accept our share of the blame. The gang are offering our young people a better future than we in our own country are offering. That is a truth. I have young people who come and say to me, Mr. Shastney, I see how my father has lived in their life. I watch how my grandfather lived his life. I don't want that. I would rather die young and enjoy my life than to live old and be miserable. That's not to take away anything from his father or his grandfather, but we must accept the young people today want more, and they want it now. We cannot tell them no. You remember when you were young? Could somebody tell you no? You thought you had all the ideas and you were ambitious. We must adapt to the reality is that our countries are not fulfilling their promise of keeping young people engaged. We must offer them opportunities that they want.
You just heard again from the leader of the opposition in St. Lucia, Mr. Alan Shastney, speaking last evening at the leader of the opposition's 4th anti-crime town hall meeting over in Trinidad. Our question of the day: Why is Jeremiah expected to prevent what PJP could not prevent? Some of your responses: because he was a policeman, I guess, rolling on the floor. The other one says P had more power than his father or Jeremiah ever did, and he couldn't stop it. More responses: I think the Prime Minister should just give Jeremiah Norbert the portfolio he holds. I believe he would do a better job than him. More of your responses looking for someone else to take the blame for the level of crime in St. Lucia. Another person says, now PJP get a scapegoat to blame. So it will no longer be my father was a policeman and not me to Jeremiah was a policeman. So Jerry, you better work miracles to sort out that crime situation, or it's all on you, bro. From PJP with love. Some of your responses. You have some comments, Kipani?
Someone
in the chat
says, the question is like pulling out a tooth, the Facebook question of the day. But I think it's because he was a policeman and not his father, but the PM was not a policeman, but his father was. So I guess he thinks that anyone who has been a policeman can do what he can't when it comes to criminal activities in St. Lucia. So the person continues, why didn't he offer it to Richard Frederick, who was a policeman and a criminal defense attorney? I guess the trust is not there anymore. Another comment in the chat, someone says, PJP is waiting on someone in his cabinet to bring the solution for the predicament we are in right now, but the people he has there has no vision, just like him. Tim, we are doomed.
Another response to our question of the day, why is Jeremiah expected to prevent what PJP could not prevent? Somebody says that he's just using Jeremiah as a scapegoat because he is getting pressure from the opposition and the public who has St. Lucia at heart. Next thing you will hear from PJP when he is interviewed by the media is, ask the member for Miku North. It will become a lazy worker, always blaming his tools.
Sports has become more of an entertainment than anything. Honestly, we need alternatives. Let's be realistic. When we speak about sports, there is no motivation or seriousness in that area in St. Lucia. How many St. Lucians can we count who has a successful career in sports? Let's see. Someone says, Tim, the Sports Academy was a vision of Mr. Shastley to do exactly what Rick is saying. But what did the SLP now government see when in opposition? They spoke down on the center and said the rehabilitation of the playing field was cancerous.
We have a call via WhatsApp. Good afternoon, NewsSpin. You are on the air.
Good afternoon, Mr. Poleon. How are you?
I'm okay, Mr. Elwin St. Rose, calling from the States.
Yes, I am.
Yes, go ahead, sir.
Yes. Well, let me just make a comment. I wanted to make a comment yesterday, so I'll still try to make it, but let me make a comment on the appointment of Mr. Norbert Jeremiah to the portfolio of minister responsible for crime prevention. I think that is, I don't know Mr. Jeremiah very well, but I saw him at his function, and I saw him when he was in his acting role as Deputy Speaker of the House. I think that's a political desperation move on the part of the Prime Minister, because like someone rightly said, I think he is getting some pressure from the public especially, and crime has become the scourge that it is today. But what I really wanted to talk to you about yesterday was that I listened to the government senator last week, who is also the communication director for the government of St. Lucia. She tried as hard as she could to blame everything and everyone for the criminal activity in St. Lucia, except the entity that should be blamed for not doing anything about it, which is the government of St. Lucia. And again, we say the government does not tell people go and commit crimes, but one of the roles of government is to protect the citizens and to stop crime. Attitudes like the one she exhibited are the root causes of the lack of serious engagement, the lack of progress, and the acceptance of mediocrity that we see over and over again in St. Lucia, where we defend incompetence, we promote incompetence, we celebrate incompetence, and the result that we have is noise, distortions, emptiness, superficial bravado, and violence that is being circulated through the bloodstream of the nation. We appear to be hacks. Jump on me. The crime rate, not the crime numbers, in St. Lucia is worse than the rate of 99% of the major cities in America. The danger is that the criminals are getting hardened and brazen and unafraid of our justice system and our law enforcement officers. What is not discouraged is encouraged passively or actively. Behaviors that are not resisted become a necessity. So if they are serious about leaving politics out of crime prevention, I'm making a proposal today. Unfortunately, the slate of MPs as constituted in the current administration does not reflect expertise in criminology or criminal justice. There are individuals in St. Lucia who have expertise in those fields, including myself. We have advanced degrees in criminal justice and criminology. And if the government is willing to make the investment, I am willing to be a member of any committee, or I am willing to lead any committee to develop a strategic plan on crime intervention and crime prevention. If they want to contact me, they can contact you for my contact information. St. Lucia deserves better, and all of us must do our part to help get rid of the scourge of crime that is taking over our country. For evil to persist, it takes good people to do nothing. And I thank you very much, sir.
Thank you so much for calling the broadcast. And St. Lucian living in the U.S., well, he's retired from the U.S. Army. Let us hear now from the minister with responsibility for crime prevention, that's Jeremiah Norbert. What does he bring to the table?
Well, I think the current situation, the current crime situation is one that requires bold, decisive action. And if there is one thing I've always said, even during my tenure as a policeman, we need to do what we need to do once we operate within the parameters of the law to arrest the crime situation. And I think my experience, my background as a police officer would have given me some sort of insight into, and crime is a very complex situation, but having worked with persons who, offenders, to work with victims of crime, you get some insight, you get some experience, and that also brings some value to the table in terms of what I've learned during my tenure as a policeman. But the crime situation is one that needs to be arrested. We cannot allow the situation to continue as it is. Notwithstanding that crime is a natural phenomenon, there are agencies charged with the primary responsibility of upholding law and order in this country. And some questions will be asked of the persons with responsibility. We have to do what we have to do. We have to work together. As Prime Minister said earlier, I'm going to offer my full support, and I'm expecting that to be reciprocated as it relates to the persons charged with responsibility.
Crime Prevention Minister, and that is Mr. Jeremiah Norbert. 452-2979. WhatsApp calls. The message is 716-2026. Let's take a call. Good afternoon. You are on the air. Hello. Good afternoon. I think we lost the call, but continue to call us once again at 452-2979. We have a caller on the line already. Good afternoon. Hello.
Hello.
Good afternoon to you, caller.
Yeah, big man, how you doing?
I am all right, Brother Harris.
Hi, I'm good.
That's good. Tim, I heard a Rick a while ago, and all what he said, I agree with him, but just one thing. That he said that the former Prime Minister, make a mistake when he say we.
Mm-hmm.
And he's trying to push some people out of it and blame out in the government.
The politicians.
The politicians, sorry. Tim, all of us have a part to play. All of us are responsible for what's going there now. It's true we are elected a government to see about these things, and there is no excuse for them. But when you look at what has been going on for the past years or so, you know what is the biggest division among that bring all division and hatred and all these things? Is two colors, red and yellow. People don't look at the country or human being. They look at two colors, and what the one is in red and one is in yellow. So these two colors are fighting. When Mr. Shastney said that the gangs are offering something better, you see, I don't blame him. And you will say, well, why these guys are choosing that? Because we have not invested in our youth. So these kids leave school, and all what they see is nonsense. They hear nonsense, and nobody jump in to correct them. Neither the politician, they don't invest in the youth. So the youth see the gang, they have money, they have this, they want to wear that, they want to wear this, they want to feed their children. So they have no alternative to go there. And people say coming down on the church, they can say what they want. And that is where I blame the church for part of the things happening now. After these people are exposed to all this ungodliness, and the gangs attract them, the church is silent. The scripture says there is a way that seemeth right unto a man, but the end of it is the way of destruction, is the way of death. And that's what these youth are in. They see it look rosy and nice, and nobody is there to tell them or be the example to show them, man, that look rosy, but at the end of it is destruction. For instance, even now, we are still contributing towards the gang. When I hear people, especially politicians, comes out in the air and say, Trinidad have crime, that one have crime. So, like you said, well, so what? Well, what's wrong or bad of St. Lucia having crime? Why don't we go out and say, Australia have minimum, they have crime under control. This country have crime under control. I want St. Lucia to be like them. I want to take some pages from what they are doing, the example they are setting, the laws and the thing they are standing for. Nobody say that. So we want to excuse, we go and say, this one have that one have that. So what's wrong with St. Lucia that we cannot, like they saying, we cannot have it here? Tim, the next thing that's really contributing to all these things, politicians in St. Lucia, and I believe most part of the Caribbean, as I said, we don't invest in our youth. But what we do as politicians, when we get into power, everybody always there for the people. But when they get into power, only one set of people they are seen about, the party hacks. Those that are retired, old like me, cannot even raise their hand. They put them into position for what? Not to perform duty. They know they can't do it. But what? To get a salary, to pay back, so to speak. And the youth are there leaving school. Some of them have all the education and everything, and not invested in them. To say, look here, you can do this, you can do that, I'm going to give you that. So you must be a party hack to really get in position in St. Lucia. I will look at again. I'm going to stop here because I know time running out. Look at the example we set in. After we so much in a mess, I saw one of the members of parliament come on your show the other day, and the lady, is so aggressive. When our youth see these things happening on radio, like the girl comes with a rage, with something angry. This is not nice for youth. This is not nice for St. Lucia. You come, you make your point in a decent way, in a way that's presentable.
Brother Harris, don't you think Lisa Jawayer was passionate as opposed to being aggressive?
Maybe I don't know what the word passionate means. To me, she was not. I told her a while ago, we are quick to come and say we sympathize and all these things. I wonder if we really do. Tim, I'll just show you one more thing, and God help me, and God is my judge. I'm not boasting myself. Once a young guy which is doing good at school, two of them, they came to my office and they say, Mr. Harris, or Brother Harris, I can't remember that some years ago. I'm doing so good at school, but my father, I want this, I want to close everything. It was coming to some thousands of dollars. And I said, but where's your father? My father, he don't care for us, he just drink all his money and so on. And I said, Mr. Young man, I'm sorry, you got to go and look for your father. When the guys were about to turn their back, something hit me in my heart. Why you're chasing these guys? You can help. Tomorrow, if these guys become that, you'll be the first to come and say, oh, these young guys, why are they doing that? Why don't you invest with that children? These children. Forget about how much it costs. And man, I listen to God and I call these people back. And I make them give me a list of all what they needed. And these guys came, sometimes they come in the week, they say, Mr. Harris, you have done so much for me, I don't want to ask you again, but, I say, man, this is all right, I'm going to help you there, I'm going to do as much as I can. And these guys left school, and as far as I know, they are doing good now, they do something for their living and so on. I'm saying that to say this to St. Lucia. We all have a part to play. We have to invest in our children. And when I say children, I don't mean children that comes from my wife, my girlfriend, my boyfriend. All of them is our children. All of them. Like Jesus said in the scriptures, who is your neighbor? not the person next to you. The neighbor is the one out there that's in need of something and you can help. And you lend out a helping hand. So, Rick, again, I saw you are hearing me. All of us are to blame. But I know that the government, the politicians, they have the sole responsibility. The courts have it, the police, all of them. But we too, as ordinary citizens, look at what's happening. I wish people, I'm not saying that to pull Rick's thing up, but all these people that all like me, like Rick and all these people, we get something to do. We still invest in our country and so on. We don't depend on politicians. I wish most people were like that. These party hacks that ready to kill people and at the cost of anything to get in there so that they have a salary they don't deserve. And that's what's happening now. Tim, take care and God bless you all.
You too, Brother Harris. Thank you so much for your contribution. WhatsApp message. There are lots of officers in the force with degrees in criminal justice and criminology and other fields. Plus, with experience in the field, street smart, not just paper pushers and ready to assist. However, they are not being utilized. In the moment, we'll be going through some of your contributions that you have extracted from the chat room, Kimani. But first, let us hear from Cuthbert Didier, his reaction to the incident which occurred a few days ago over in Grenada, and then we'll have a latest update because something has happened to the Grenada 3. First, that reaction from Cuthbert Didier, a marine consultant.
The implications are very, very serious, and it's a very negative perception that's being marketed all around the world by all notable news agencies. I'm not sure if you recall back in the late 80s, there was a murder of a couple in Cumberbatch Bay in St. Vincent, which was featured on Nightline in the States. And that destroyed totally the yachting product of St. Vincent to the point that they have never recovered. In fact, yachting is blooming in the Grenadines, but never in St. Vincent because of that case. And this episode, I don't think it was going to have a happy ending. I don't think that the chances of finding this couple alive is going to happen. And if you read the headlines, the focus is on the Caribbean. And already, because of the Caribbean safety and security net, St. Lucia, Martinique, Dominica, St. Vincent have been having a horrible, horrible PR job with yachties for all these unsolved cases. So I think we have to brace ourselves for an even rougher yachting season for the next year and a half.
Marine consultant Cuthbert Didier. In just a moment, we have a report because the Grenada 3, they were arrested by Vincentian law enforcement officials. Well, a magistrate has decided to deport them to Grenada. We have a report in just a bit, but first, Kimani, what is happening in the chat room?
In the chat room, someone says, Pastor Harris, we only need to take a trip to El Salvador and sit at the round table with the security minister or invite him over here. Another comment, the communities and the police know all the criminals. Someone says, it was just like Kenny when he was facing pressure. He passed an anti-gang act. When asked why, because it was useless, he answered that they wanted him to do something, so he just did it. Another comment, I believe that the Prime Minister sees great promise from Honorable Jeremiah Norbert. He has more posture than the PM. He connects very well with the people and has gained the confidence and respect from his constituency. The pressure from the public now has increased, and it makes me think that no one else can fill the post. Someone says sport is a discipline and likewise teaches discipline. St. Lucians and particularly their leaders lack discipline. So how would anyone in sport be successful if they stayed here? Similarly, why would St. Lucia and its leaders put a premium on sports? Rick, the Alan Shastney government started a sporting program first by upgrading the facilities. The SLP government blasted them. We are a sport-loving community. The support from the bigger authorities and the Ministry of Sports is what is lacking. Not even the playing fields nor parks that are being well kept. In our Prime Minister's constituency, for example, the park gate is always chained. Rick, I disagree with you on the sports part. Alan Shastney had some focus on sports. That's it.
Thank you so much, Kimani. Now the latest about the Grenada 3. We have a report from GBN, that's the Grenada Broadcasting Network's Nisha Paul.
A deportation order was handed down from the Kingstown Magistrates Court on Monday for the 3 Grenadians who are now the main suspects in a case of 2 missing U.S. citizens. The decision was made after the St. Andrew resident, 19-year-old Trevon Robertson, along with 30-year-old Ron Mitchell and 23-year-old Atiba Stanislaus, appeared before a Vincentian magistrate for sentencing on a series of immigration charges after pleading guilty.
A magistrate in St. Vincent has decided that they will be repatriated, extradited to Grenada, and at that time they will face the consequences of the allegations that they had killed, murdered, raped, stolen, entered St. Vincent illegally.
Attorney Jerry Edwin has volunteered his service on behalf of the 3 Grenadian fugitives who were captured in St. Vincent and the Grenadines 3 days after they escaped lawful custody at the South St. George police station, 1 day before they were scheduled to appear before a St. George's magistrate on a series of serious charges, including robbery with violence and rape. They were captured on February 21 in a house close to a beach in the northwestern village of Petit Bordel in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. The men reportedly hijacked a catamaran which was found abandoned in Vincentian waters. It is alleged that the boat owners, an American couple, were disposed of on the way to St. Vincent and are feared dead. The case has attracted negative international attention and has raised obvious questions about how the 3 men were able to escape.
We think that it is important that Grenada gets its good name back as soon as possible. Listen, Grenada is the safest place in the Caribbean, and we cannot allow even a one-off incident to rob Grenada of this well-deserved, well-earned reputation.
Attorney Edwin said despite the heinous nature of the allegations against the men, his role is to ensure that due process is followed.
I have indicated to the Director of Public Prosecutions that I will be assisting the young men amicus when they arrive in Grenada. What that means is that we'll proceed by paper committal, so we will not waste the court's time. We always say that these matters delay in the courts. There's long remand periods in the prison before these matters actually come up to be heard by a judicial officer. But I think everyone would agree it's in the national interest. It's in the interest of the law, of justice, of the victims, that the matter be heard immediately by the courts.
According to a report from St. Vincent, the men were detained to be handed over to SVG immigration authorities for deportation. However, it is unclear at this time exactly when the escapees will be returned to the island. GBN will continue following this story and bring you updates as they become available. For GBN News,
and we'll be doing likewise. Just so they're from GBN's Nisha Paul. That's the broadcast. Thank you so much for watching and listening to the program on Power 97.9 FM, as well as on Facebook and the NewsSpin YouTube channel. Please join us same time tomorrow afternoon, 12:30, for another edition of the most monitored talk show in the world, NewsSpin. Goodbye.